Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. How are you? Today I want to solve the whole your sessional paper, your monthly test, and you have to go through these solutions and find your mistakes and check. Already you have checked your papers and try to understand which question having the different steps. Thank you. So the first question is that question belong to the quadratics, and this question is subtopic of this one is completing square method. So you know that we have to solve this one by this method. Y is equal to the 4x square plus 20x plus 6. As we know that the first step is you will take the coefficient of x square if it is not 1. So you have to write this 1x square plus 5x. And you remember that you have to take common from the terms of x. Now you have to add and subtract. You have to add and subtract the half of the square of the coefficient of x. So what's the coefficient of x is 5. What is its half is 5 by 2 whole square. Then you have to write minus 5 by 2 whole square is plus 6. So when we have a plus b whole square, so the result of the first three terms will be this one. So we have to use a plus b and a minus b over here. So I will get the answer from here. That becomes, you will take the first term from the first scale plus second term you have to select and 5 by 2 whole scale. The next term you have to solve by yourself. That becomes 25 by 4. If I'm not wrong, then you have to write this one as open the bracket, expand the bracket, 4 times x plus 5 by 2 whole square and minus 4 times multiplied by 25 by 4 and plus 6. These two terms will be cancelled out and I will get the answer will be 4 times x plus 5 by 2 whole square minus 25 plus 6 becomes minus 19. If you have this process, these steps, then you will get your full marks. The full marks are 3. That's the first part of the question. Now I have to solve the next part. Before starting the next part, I have to erase this solution. I'm recording this solution so that you can check your answers one by one. So I will erase the whole thing over here. You remember that you have 4 into x plus 5 by 2 whole square minus 19. That is the first part of the question. Now I have to solve the second part of the question. Now this is the second part of the question. Before starting this one, the first part already we have. What's the first part is we have expressed this one. Y is equal to the 4x square plus 20x and plus 6. If I'm not wrong, then you have this one is 4 times x plus 5 by 2 whole square minus 90, if I'm not wrong. Remember that when we have the word hence, this means you have to use the result of the previous part. No doubt this is a quadratic equation. You can solve with the help of the factorization method as well as with the help of quadratic formula. But in this case, the examiner wants the solution by using this method. So you have to use this method. By how we use this one, this equation becomes this the first term, this term you have to in first part, the answer of this term is equal to the 4 times 4 times x plus 5 by 2 whole square minus 19 is equal to 45. No, you will not expand. You have to solve with the help of the whole square. So 4 times x plus 5 by 2 whole square, that becomes 45 plus 19. That becomes x plus 5 by 2 whole square is equal to the 5 plus 9 becomes 14, and 4 plus 1, 5, and 1 becomes 6, and divided by 4, that becomes 16. So you have to find the square root of this term. So you have this one that is equal to the 16. You have to square root on both sides because you need the value of x. Square root on this side and square root on this side. One of these sides you have to put plus minus sign, and usually you have to put the plus minus sign on that side where you have no x. Now you have this one is the x plus 5 by 2, because this whole term will be cancelled out. This square, this cancelled by this under root sign. So you have this one is equal to the plus minus 4. Now you have two answers. X is equal to the plus minus 4 plus minus 5 by 2. The first answer will be x is equal to plus 4 minus 5 by 2. And the second answer is minus 4 minus 5 by 2. If I'm not wrong. So these are the two answers. And the first answer will be, when you take LCM, you have to use your calculator. 8 minus 5 becomes 3 by 2. That's the first answer. And the second answer is minus 8 minus 5 becomes minus 13 by 2. These are the two answers. Is it clear? Any doubt? Any problem? Because this is the question. Now, again, I have to solve the third part of the question. Remember that we have this result and I have to erase the whole thing. The next part of the question is, sorry, the next part of the question is not over here, because we have the next part. This one. Sketch the graph of this one. Already we have this information. Whenever we have the word sketch, sketch means you have to write the four properties. So y is equal to the 4 times x plus 5 by 2 whole square minus 19. Showing the coordinates of the stationary point. Stationary point in this case is the vertex, and the coordinates of vertex are just like to have the minus 5 by 2 and minus 19. You are not required to indicate the way the cross is the x-axis and y-axis. This means there is no need to write x-intercept and the y-intercept. So you have this one with the color of red. I have to draw this graph. This one is x-axis and this one is y-axis. So I have to mark this one. On the left hand side, we have the minus 5 by 2. Suppose that this is 1, this is 2, this is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. On the vertical axis, we have this one is minus 19. The vertex is over here. So you have to write this one as, suppose this one is 4, minus 4, this one is minus 8, this one is minus 12, this one is minus 16, and this one is minus 20. Other side we have the 1, 2, and this one is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. First of all, you have to write the line of symmetry at minus 2.5. So this is the line of symmetry. Just for explanation, I will draw with the help of suppose green color. That is the line of symmetry over here. Then you have to draw the vertex, the coordinates minus 5 by 2 and 19 over here. So you have to draw the graph just like this one, a U-shaped graph, and the graph will be supposed over here. That is the point 4, and that is the point 6, these distances. So you have to graph just like U-shaped positive. So you have the graph just like this one. And you have to draw the graph just like this one. if I'm not wrong, that will be the graph. If you have this is called the stationary point. Stationary points are minimum, maximum, or least of greatest point. So if you have these three possibilities, then the vertex, the line of symmetry, and the shape of the graph, then you will get the complete 3 marks. The next question of this paper is, so the next question of this paper is, if I'm not wrong, that will be this one. Give the expansion of complete expansion. You have to solve this one. How you will solve this one? That's a very simple. So I have to solve this one. I will use the blue marker over here, the dark blue. So x plus 2 by x raised to power 5. As we know that I have the 5c0, x raised to power 5, and 2 by x raised to power 0. Then I have the 5c1, x raised to power 4, and 2 by x raised to power 1. Then I have 5c2, x raised to power 3, and 2 by x raised to power 2. Then I have the 5c3 and x raised to power 2 and 2 by x raised to power 3. Then I have the 5c4, x raised to power 1 and 2 by x raised to power 4. And the last one is 5c5, x raised to power 0 and 2 by x raised to power 5. Now you have to use the calculator a lot. So we know that 5c0 is always 1, x raised to power 5. Any number whose power is 0, the answer is 1. 5c1 is 5, x raised to power 4 into 2 over x. Then I have the 5c2. I will use the calculator. 5c2. What's the answer of the 5c2? That is over here the 5. That is 5. And then we have the shift with this sign C and 5c2. If I'm not wrong, the answer will be 10. Sorry, the answer will be 10. I have to start from here. The answer will be 10x cubed. And then we have 2x by that becomes 4 by x squared. What's the answer of 5c3? Again, I have to use all clear, then 5c2. There's a 5 over here, and c you have to write with the help of this 5c3. The answer will be 10. 5c3, the answer will be 10. So I have to write over here that becomes 10 and x raised to power 2, and that becomes 8 over x cubed. Then 5c4 becomes 5. You have to use the calculator. X will remain as it is, and it becomes 16 over x raised to power 4. And the last sum is 5c5. Both the numbers are same. You have to use the calculator, and you will get 16 by x raised to power 5. What will you do over here? So you have to cross multiply. You have to solve this one. What will you do over here? That is equal to the, when you have this one, that becomes x raised to power 5. If I'm not wrong, that becomes plus 10. This is cancelled by this one. X is cancelled by this one. That becomes x cubed. So I will get 5 to the 10, x raised to power 3. Then I have the x square is cancelled by this one. It becomes 1, 10x, 10x not, it becomes a 40x. And this becomes plus 80 over x. If I'm not wrong, it becomes 80 over x cubed. And the last one becomes 16 over x raised to power 5. If you have this answer, then you will get, please check that there is no mistake of the plus minus sign. Am I right? Okay. Now I have to solve the second part of this question is, I will not erase this one because I need this answer. So I have to write this answer over here. What's the answer is? So you have to this one a as it is plus bx square multiply by x plus 2 by x raised to power 5. The question is given the coefficient of x is 0. The first information is this one, the coefficient of x is 0 and the coefficient 1 over x is 80. These two information you have to use. I will use these two informations. One answer already you have. The second you have to apply over here. I will use the suppose green color. So a plus a will as it is, plus b will as it is, x square will as it is. Now you have to write the answer of this x plus 2 by 5 raised to power 5 in the expansion, the first one. So we have this one, the x raised to power 5 plus 10 x raised to power 3. If I'm not wrong, 40x plus 80 over x and plus 80 over x cubed. The last one is 16 over x raised to power 5. Now we have to find the coefficient of x as well as the coefficient of 1 over x. So when you multiply this one, this number a will multiply by this number. So I will get 40ax. So you have to multiply this number by this one. So you will get the 40 times a times x. Now the next one is you have to multiply, suppose by this color, you have to need a multiply by 1 over x. So when you multiply by this one, you will get the plus. So this a will multiply by this term. So you will get the 80 a over x. Now it's the turn of the b. So when you multiply this b by this number, multiply by this 80, you will get the terms of x. So bx square multiplied by 80x, it becomes 80bx plus. So this term is cancelled, multiplied by this one x cubed, you will get 80b over x. Where are the coefficient of x? Where are the coefficient of 1 over x? So these two terms, I have this one 40a ax and the second term is plus 80bx. That's the coefficient of x plus. I will change the marker color over here. So the next one is 80a over x and plus 80b over x. Now what's the coefficient of x? As we know that, just I'm erasing the question over here because I need two things. If I find the coefficient of x with the help of this one, if I will find the coefficient of x with suppose blue marker, the coefficient of x you will get from here. The coefficient of x is 40a plus 80b. So 40a plus 80b. And x, the coefficient of x is 0. You have to put the 0 over here. The next one is you have to find the coefficient 1 over x. That is 80a plus 80b is equal to the 80. So from this equation, when you take the common, divide by this one, you will get the a plus 2b equal to 0. 40 is taken as common. From here, 80 is taken as common. It becomes a plus b is equal to 1. So the value of a from here, you will get that is going to be minus 2b. Use the substitution method to solve this one. Minus 2b plus b is equal to 1. If I'm not wrong, then the answer of b becomes minus b becomes plus 1. That is equal to b is equal to minus 1. That answer you have to put over here. So the answer of a will be minus 2 into minus 1. That becomes plus 2. Remember that if something wrong, please do mention in chat box or in we have just send me the message so I can solve this one. The next question is maybe possible there is a plus minus mistake. I will erase my drawing over here and I have to start the next question. Question number 3 is a circle has the equation this one aligned with this one intersect the circle. So that's the again mixture of the equation of a circle and mixture of the uh, uh, discriminant question. So first of all, you have to change the whole equation into one variable. So this value of y you have to replace over here. So x minus 1 whole square will as it is plus y becomes x minus 9 and plus 4 over here square as it is, that is equal to the 40. So this becomes x minus 1 whole square. Write this positive terms. So x minus 5 whole square, if I'm not wrong, that becomes 40. Expand this whole square, you will get x square minus 2x plus 1 plus x square minus 10x plus 25 and minus 40 equal to 0. So I will get the 2x square minus 12x and plus 14 becomes 0. Not plus, that is minus 14. How? Because 25 plus 1 becomes 26 minus 40, so it becomes minus 40. Take common 2 from here, x square minus 6x and minus 7 over here. 2 is multiplying this side, on the other side it will divide. So you have this one. Now at this stage, you have to use the quadratic formula. I will make the factors directly. You can also use the factorization method. So it becomes x minus 7 and x plus 1 over here. If one answer will be the first factor equal to 0 and the second factor also equal to 0. So the first answer is 7 of x. The second answer is minus 1. Coordinates of the points means you need the values of x as the value of y. So you have to use the second one equation x minus 9 over here, x minus 9 over here to get the value of y. So this value of 7 when you put over here, 7 minus 9, that becomes minus 2 and put the second value minus 1 over here, that becomes minus 10. So you have 2 points. What are those 2 points? The first point is 7 and minus 2. Remember that you have to write the first coordinate in the first place and the second coordinate in the second place. So these are the 2 points, A and B, 7 minus 2 and the minus 1 minus 10. Is it clear? Any doubt? I will just erase the board because I need the second part of the question. But remember that you have these 2 points. The first point is 7 minus 2. The second point is minus 1 minus 10. These are the 2 points. One of these points is called A. The second the point is called B. The next part of the question is this is the next part of the question. Find the equation of circle with the diameter A and B. So if I have this one, this is a circle over here. Suppose that this is the shape of the circle. And with this is the diameter starting from here to any point, this one, that's the diameter. And these are the endpoints with using this red color. Suppose this endpoint is 7 minus 2. And this endpoint is, if I'm not wrong, minus 1 minus 10. We know that this one is, we have this one is the midpoint of the circle over here. So center of the circle, the midpoint of this one, I will make it M. M is equal to the minus 1 plus 7 divided by 2. And the second one is minus 2 minus 10 divided by 2. So m will be is equal to the 6 by 2 becomes 3, and the second one is minus 12. That becomes the minus 6. Now you have to find the diameter. So this point is 3 minus 6. Either you will use this distance to find the diameter. You can use this distance between these 2 points. You can use this distance between these 2 points, or half of the diameter. It's your choice. So you have to find the radius over here. The radius is equal to the square root of 3 minus 1, it becomes 4 square. I will make it short, plus minus 6 plus, and again it becomes the 4 square. So 16, it becomes the 32. That's the radius of this one. So equation of circle will be x minus 3 whole square and y plus 6 whole square is equal to the square of this radius. That becomes 32 if I'm not wrong. Please check your calculations. The calculation is correct or wrong. If I'm not wrong, then you have to use this one. So the next part of the question is find the perpendicular bisector of a same part. No, that's the next question. So I have to erase this one, the whole reason, clear all my perpendicular bisector of this one. Suppose we have these 2 points. What's the meaning of the perpendicular bisector? A straight line. Suppose this one is, we have any point, any line segment. This point is suppose A. This coordinates are 5 and 2. The second point is this one, suppose B. This one is 10 and minus 1. So this line, but this line is a green color line. Suppose this one, that line is called the perpendicular bisector. This line is called the perpendicular bisector. To find the equation of perpendicular bisector, I need two things. The first one is called the gradient, and the second one is called the midpoint of the circle. So the first one is I will find the midpoint. So that is called midpoint. How I will calculate this one midpoint? X2, x1 plus x2, that becomes 5 plus 10 over 2, and minus 1 plus 2 over 2. I will short this one as 15 by 2 and 1 by 2. Now I have to find the gradient of the AB with different color. Suppose green color. To find the gradient of AB, that is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. 5 minus 10, that becomes 3 by 5 in negative sign, and gradient of perpendicular bisector, that becomes 5 by 3 if I'm not wrong. So equation of perpendicular bisector will be, what should be its equation? Y minus y1, the midpoint is given, that is 1 by 2 is equal to the m times m is 5 by 3 into x minus 15 by 2, if I'm not wrong. These three is, so you have to expand the bracket. So that becomes 5 by 3x, and this 5 by multiplied becomes 75 by 6. If I'm not wrong, this minus 1 by 2 becomes a plus 1 by 2. You have to use calculator a lot. What's the answer of minus 70? So y is equal to the minus 70 by 6 plus 1 by 2. Use your calculator. What's the calculator will be? All clear. Minus 17, that's a fraction. Minus over here, that becomes 75. This one is 75, and denominator we have over here, the denominator is 6. Am I right? Then we have plus sign. Always we have plus sign, and this one we have 1 by 2. Again, you have to write the fraction. That is 1 over here. That is 2 over here. And what's the answer of this one? If I'm not wrong, the answer is minus 12. So y is equal to the 5 by 3x and minus 12 will be its answer. Okay, up to now we have this one. You have to remember this equation. What the second part of this question is, remember that y is equal to 5 by 3x minus 12. Find the equation of circle that passes through the points A. Center A with B passes through the B. Okay, I have to erase all these things to make it short. So I have to draw, I have to erase over here because there is no need. You have to draw the point of this one. You have to draw the circle. Where is the circle? This is a circle. I have to make this one. The center of the circle is given. That is point A with the coordinates A are given. That is 5 and 2. Am I right? And the point B is this one. We have this one. B point that is equal to the with coordinates 10 minus 1. Am I right? Now you have to find the radius of the circle. How you will find the radius of the circle? You have to use this distance formula. You have to use the radius. You have to use the distance formula. What will the distance formula is? AB distance is equal to the y2 minus y1 whole square plus x2 minus x1 whole square under root. That becomes 25. If not wrong, that becomes 9. Ultimately, that becomes 34 under root. So what's the answer is x minus x1 means 5 whole square, if I'm not wrong, plus y minus 2 whole square. That becomes the 34 whole square. So the equation of circle is x minus 5 whole square plus y minus 2 whole square is equal to 34, if I'm not wrong. Next part of the question is this one is again you have to simplify by yourself because that's the question of the quadratics. Try to solve this one. Inshallah ta'ala, I will upload this one on your WhatsApp group and try to find this one. Thank you, beta. Allah Hafiz.